all of our power is just in our cameras and our passports. If this is done by people with authority, then we should be able to at least stop the process of ethnic cleansing.
Andrey fled from Russia to avoid prison because of his job as a political journalist. He is Jewish and therefore had no problem getting an Israeli passport. Living in Tawani, Masafariyata in the south of the West Bank, Andrey has devoted his time to activism documenting settler violence against Palestinians.
If I were doing this kind of stuff in Russia, I would have gone to prison already. Here, the law differs depending on who you are. If I were Palestinian and I would be doing this, I would have been in prison long ago. But I am Jewish, I have an Israeli passport, so there isn't actually much that they can do to me. There isn't a single Jewish Israeli activist who is in prison right now. You know, we have way more freedom than Palestinians. So here I have this magical document that gives me sort of immunity to the things that are a big threat to Palestinians.
Andrey films the settlers and the Israeli army whenever he can and uses social media to document the occurrences and try to amplify Palestinian stories that otherwise wouldn't be published.
On October 13th, a Palestinian, Zakaria Adra, was shot by a settler in the stomach. He had to spend, I think, 60 days in the hospital, and he's still suffering from that injury. Luckily, he survived, but barely. And the settler, the shooter, he just came up to him and shot him in the stomach. And there is a very clear video of that. And there was an IOF soldier right next to him. And we know his name, and the police knows his name. But when the human rights activists went to the police questioning what is going to happen now, and this happened just recently, the army arrived and arrested Zakaria again, so the victim of the assault. And the settler has been walking around the same places with the same gun, doing the same stuff. And there has been no legal repercussions for him, and there is little that we can do.
Andrey explains that there has been an increase in settler violence and attacks on the Palestinians since October 2023. Settlers have taken advantage of the media's focus on Gaza.
There have been constant raids with mass casualties, with rocket attacks, and they happen practically daily in one place or another. In terms of settler violence, there has been an increase of more and more land has been taken over by the settlers. In the village Ras Al Auja, where I spend most of my time, 5 months ago, the settlers started a new outpost, trying to cut off one of the last places in the West Bank where there is free access to the water. So there is a stream where the Palestinians get their water. The outpost is just maybe 20 meters away from the stream, and they keep on attacking Palestinians who come there with their families, and the Palestinians of Ras Al Auja who come there to take the water from the stream. And this has been a slow campaign of increased pressure in order to take over that land.
Andrey believes that the best way to decrease the violence in the area is by activism. The settlers tend to be less violent when there is an international presence of people who are filming and documenting the events.
In February, the occupation authorities started putting settlers under administrative arrest, the same kind of process that they use in Palestinians, like the military arrest of citizens, which was seemingly the result of international pressure and advocacy of the human rights advocates, even though that's not what we wanted. This doesn't really help, and administrative arrest on its own is just a completely inhumane practice. So attention, I think, is the thing that helps in the short run in specific cases, and that can in the long run lead to an improvement of the situation. But I think that the general the next step that will help stop the process of ethnic cleansing without reversing it, but at least stop it, is protective presence by an official international armed force. So the thing that Francesca Albanese has been advocating for, obviously with a lot of oversight, a UN presence. So because right now with activists, we can get arrested, beaten, internationals can get deported, Palestinians can go to jail for a long time, Israelis can get expelled from the West Bank for like a period of time, and this is like we are here in complete with no authority whatsoever. All of our power is just in our cameras and our passports. If this is done by people with authority, then we should be able to at least stop the process of ethnic cleansing.